Welcome back to the Enya Beat. I'm Teresa Gutierrez. I think you'll agree that Chicago is never at a loss for welcoming, nurturing, and exhibiting the work of Latino artists. We found one such talent working in his studio on some powerful images that speak of abandonment in some of the greatest cities in our country. If you look a little closer, they may change the perception of what you think you see. Stacy Baca has this story.
Canadian-born Xavier Nuez makes his home in Chicago's Pilsen neighborhood, a hotspot for artists. And more importantly, that is where he found his artistic soul, a soul that's reflected in his artwork.
One thing that fascinates me about Pilsen is that it is a Latino immigrant community, and it reflects the background that I had. My parents were immigrants from Spain. They had a very hard time trying to fit in. My dad's first job was washing dishes. So, you know, we kind of started at the bottom of the barrel.
Growing up in Canada, Xavier often felt like an outsider, and these memories help him focus his energy.
I like to dignify what's been rejected, and one of the things I hate the most is racism. You hear so many disparaging remarks about immigrants and about minorities in general, and for me that just makes my blood boil. I know what the life of an immigrant is. I know how hard my family had to struggle.
His current series of photographs, Alleys and Ruins, has been displayed throughout the U.S., with the New York Times and Professional Artist magazine both taking note of his photography.
I just finished a show in New York, and the New York Times has called the Alleys and Ruins series a masterpiece. So, you know, I mean, it's just the most incredible honor that, you know, that I could have.
A commercial photographer by trade, Xavier now pursues his artistic endeavor full-time.
I was a commercial photographer for many years. I would shoot architectural interiors for magazines, product photography, different forms of commercial jobs to pay the bills. Doing all of that, I developed an understanding of how to use all the tools.
Making his living looking through the lens of a 50-year-old camera has been an exercise in tenacity, and the results are photographs that have made a good first impression.
I create images through very long exposures. I'm shooting in dark places. I shoot film with a 50-year-old Hasselblad film camera, and I combine very long exposures, which can be 20, 30, 40 minutes, and during that time, I combine my own lights. It has been a real uphill struggle. You know, for many years, I was the, you know, I was your stereotype starving artist. I lived in buildings that were condemned. I've had lots of times where I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. The key for me was just perseverance and the fact that there was nothing else that I wanted to do.
Working in the dark of night, each photograph exists as Xavier's vision until he is able to translate it onto film, and then he waits to see what develops.
What I love is the track curves and doesn't seem to end, so when you look at this final image, it's going to be like you're sort of like you're trapped. I try to create very theatrical, very sort of fairy tale looking images. Most people, when they look at my work, they say, how is it possible I'm looking at this dumpster next to this garbage in this dark alley that I wouldn't walk into in a million years? How is it possible you have made this so beautiful? I feel like I want to be in there. It's a strange layering of the harsh reality with this desire to create this perfect world where there's no war and there's no racism. You have the fear and the ugliness, the harsh reality, the danger of these places with this sort of slick, commercial, happy layer on top, which makes them attractive and beautiful and very sort of peaceful looking.
Xavier is hard at work on his next series of photographs. And like his first series of photographs, he really does hope that people come to appreciate his perspective.
People, as it turns out, are fascinated with ruins. Everyone wants to know what's there. They want to know what's at the end of a dark alley. So that's what I do. There's a lot of things that come into creating a good work of art. The history of the artist is just integral. And for me, my art it's kind of an open book. There is a positive side in everything, and if you can find something positive in some of the most reviled and ugly and scary places in a city, if you can make beauty and find something positive in that, well, you can find something positive in anything.
Some of his photographs are available for purchase at the Schneider Gallery in Chicago, or you can visit his website at xaviernuez.com. We wish him continued success. Coming up next on the Emmy